Okay, so we have our size 14 dry fly hook right there, and I have some olive UTC thread, and I'm going to try to position this a little bit better. There we go. Make sure my vise is on there good. And I'm just going to put down a little bit of thread through here. I left a little bit of a space, about a eyelid's length up there. It's not going to matter too much, so if you want to put full thread all the way down, that's up to you. Just trim that back up like that. Put it about right there, about halfway down. Go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to take some of these CDC feathers I got here, and I'm going to try to find a good, decently sized one here to do this tip here. I'm just going to grab like the tip feathers here, separate these, just the tip here. If you want to wet your fingers and wet it down a little bit, you can. It helps just a little bit. But I'm going to put that there, put that about a half a hook shank's distance out, and just clamp it down, tie it in real good, snip those back end, and then I like to go behind it just where that stem came off at, just to secure it down. There we go. Pull that little fiber out of the way there. Now I'm going to crank back down to the bottom of the hook shaft here. And at this time, I'm going to take some of the super fine blue wing olive dubbing right there. Just a little bit of it. We're going to make a little, little ball of it right here on the end. So you don't need much for this. There on the back end. Just a nice little tight ball. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a little piece of a hackle feather. Let me see if I have one nearby, or I need to grab more. Let me grab one real quick. I'm just using some of this white hackle here. I got a couple things of it, and just gonna take a piece like right about in here midway, just a little clump, and pull it off. Maybe a little bit more than that. That should be fine. Just like 2-3 fibers in there. Sorry, I know this isn't auto-focusing. The lighting's not too great in here. And I'm going to cut off these back ends right here. Now I'm going to lay it right here, about midway. Oh, underdid it a little bit. Try to even that. Keep it on top there. Back on it a little bit. Now I'm going to try my best to space it apart here. So I have one fiber on one side, one on the other, perfectly just like that. Capture it in like that. Wrap up. Now at this time I'm going to go right here to this fuzz we left, and I'm going to take a couple wraps in front. And then I'm also going to take and do some ones around it to bind it in together. so it stands up just like that. Then I'm going to even up the body here a little bit. And go right back down there behind our wings. And now we're going to go back to our superfine olive BWO dubbing. We're going to put a little bit more on here this time because we're going to be doing the full body. Well, essentially the full body. I'm going to need just a little bit more. Right through here. Get right in there behind that wing. We're not going to go in front of that wing until we get bare thread, and then we'll cross back in front. Trying to keep my wing even back here. There it goes. Alright, now next step is a little bit more dubbing right here in front. But first, before we do that, we're going to take the tip of this hackle. You don't need very much at all with these small size 14s. So, I think I might have made this a little bit too short, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. Pretty small piece of hackle. I'm going to tie this into the front of the hook so I can get my hands on it. With that little stem, I'm going to take it and try to hook it under. Get hold of it real good because you don't want this coming undone once you start this. Now that I'm leaving that to the side right there, I'm going to grab just a little bit more of this super fine dubbing. With this stuff, a little bit goes a long way. Just remember that. Need to tighten up my thread. Giving that a nice head right there. I'm going to stop it right there at the hook eyelid. Now I'm going to take my hackle. If you want to use hackle pliers, if you want to do it by hand, whatever works for you. I had to use the hackle pliers my last one just because it was real hard to get in here and get the hold of this. So I'm going to do it again. Oh, I dropped it. Came undone. Now you can see how even this little piece is a lot up here, so make sure you don't use too big of a piece. Now once you get that where you want it, go ahead and come in there with your thread and try to move around these fibers here. Get it how you want it, cut it off. That should be good. Undo that. I'm going to take my whip finish tool. Get that right where I want it. Right there. I'll cut this. Now, I caught some of my fibers up, so what I'm going to do is pull them out gently and reposition them around it, just like that. If you want, you could take a small drop of head cement for that front If you have UV cure, I'd recommend UV cure. I don't actually have any UV cure at the moment, so it is gonna have to be just a little dab of head cement right there. That was the hairline one. Like I said, in my previous video, I've been trying out Loon and the hairline. I've been using the hairline one for a while, trying to see which one I like better. There you go, guys. There is your CDC blue wing merger with your tail and everything. I'll see if my camera will zoom for you guys. There it goes. Yeah. So hopefully we can get out there and get on some trout with this guy, but we'll find out. See you guys out there.